Hey, it's Arick Wierson with Newsweek magazine. Today when I spoke with President Ali of Guyana, we spoke about a range of different issues from food security to climate change to Venezuela to energy markets. But one of the areas that I really wanted to quiz him on was about his view about expansion of the UN Security Council. A lot of countries, Brazil and India come to mind, countries that represent the global south or developing nations feel they should have a bigger role as part of the UN Security Council. Here's what he had to say. Let's talk about the composition of the UN Security Council, in particular the permanent members. There's been a growing debate about expanding the composition of the permanent members of the UN Security Council, particularly about including members from developing countries. India and Brazil, for example, are two names that often get raised, both of which, I might add, have very close relations with Guyana. Would Guyana be in support of expanding the UN Security Council? Is that something you think that needs to be addressed to help foster global peace and stability?
The first thing is that the UN Security Council should not be about vested interests. The United Nations Security Council is about avoiding conflict. It's about ensuring the world lives in a peaceful and just environment, in a fair environment. It's ensuring that systems work and ensuring that there is a fair distribution or fair administration of what constitutes international justice, what constitutes international peace, what constitutes international norms, and what are the international values that all of us who are members of the UN must share in creating a peaceful world. So there should be no, there should be actually no, I don't want to say concern, but there should be no pushback when you have huge countries, very important countries that are having the greatest growth in the middle class. The size of their economy is expanding rapidly. India, Brazil, these are important countries. When you look at the South American continent, the South American countries, and you look at the CARICOM countries, you would see that Brazil plays a key role. When you look at the influence of Brazil in Latin America and the Caribbean, the influence of Brazil in the wider global community, and the contribution Brazil makes in international scheme of things, agricultural production, they are in number 1 to 5 in almost every category of food production in the world. A very, very, very aggressive agricultural program, food production program. And then you look at India, a country that is growing. Look at Africa, the countries in the African Union. Growing middle class, huge population, part of a global system that necessitate their presence at the table. So I believe that from Guyana perspective, the African Union, the African countries, India, Brazil, that these are countries that will play an important role in the future dynamics, in ensuring that we have global stability. And of course, with a growing population in the middle class, they ought to be at the table, and we support that.
So am I to take from that that during the course of the next 2 years, while you're as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, you'll actually be actively looking for ways to foment discussion about how to expand either the rotating members or the actual permanent members?
That definitely is of interest to us.
Next week, Guyana is hosting its annual Energy and Supply Chain Conference in Georgetown, an event that is quickly emerging as a must-attend event on the global oil and gas calendar, and a testament to Guyana's rise as a major economic player in global energy markets. Could you reflect on how quickly Guyana has risen as a major force on the global energy stage, and how this rise correlates with its rise in soft power, or its diplomatic heft, if you will, both in the region and globally?
Well, first of all, I want to say that we're not interested in exercising power. We're interested in exercising responsibility, because we see our growing economy, our growing importance in the global scheme of things, whether it's climate, energy, or food, as an opportunity for us to provide global leadership, to provide responsible leadership, to provide responsive leadership, to provide just leadership, to provide and to work towards the creation or the enabling of a system that allows legitimacy in the global scheme of things. And that is our concern. So definitely the attention as a result of the oil and gas, especially the oil finds, has placed Guyana in the spotlight. And this brings a lot of benefit to us because you have the international media positioning the country. It also brings greater responsibility to us. This gives us an opportunity. We have perhaps the best tourism, ecotourism product in the world, but no one knew about it. The tagline was the best kept secret. And of course, tourism can't be a secret, otherwise you won't attract people. So now it opens up a whole host of opportunity for us. It brings in the sophisticated investors. When these investors come from the oil and gas conference, many of them ends up investing in agriculture, investing in transport and logistics, investing in technology, investing in training and development. Look, recently, we're one of the newcomers in the oil and gas sector. Just 2 days ago, we launched the Factor Training Institute as part of what we're doing to build our human resource base in Berbice. And it is 1 out of 10 in the world. 1 out of 10 in the world. So this opportunity allows us to get access to new capital markets, get access to the serious, sophisticated investors, get access to important news entities like yours, create a momentum for the country. And this momentum for the country should not be a oil and gas momentum. It must be a momentum that helps us to position the country on every leg that would constitute the future. And that is what we want the country to be known for. World-class healthcare system, world-class education system, world-class infrastructure, ecotourism product second to none, the building out of a vaccine production facility, biomedical facility that would create products and manufacture products for the entire region, the processing of the gas, the natural gas, to become an important hub for the transport and the movement of liquids across the region, the integration of northern Brazil and the potential of northern Brazil through a deep water port with a global market, the expansion of our reach in getting better trade agreements with countries. So as we expand production, we have a great opportunity. With a reduction in the cost of energy, we will also see more manufacturing, agro-processing, industrial development coming. This, of course, would require higher skilled level of, you create higher skilled jobs, more upskilled jobs, but it also requires us now to invest more in the human resource capacity and capability to meet the future of the country.
I want to shift a little bit and talk about your neighbor to the west, Venezuela. In the Argyle Declaration signed last December, you and President Maduro of Venezuela essentially agreed to de-escalate tensions. Tensions that Venezuela was almost universally seen as being the ones who provoked. Now, it seems that the Maduro regime is continuing to build up a formidable military presence on the western border. Is this just more saber-rattling on his part, aimed at his own domestic audiences? Or do you think something else more critical is underfoot? What do you make of these new satellite images that have come out? And how do you think Guyana should or will respond if this military buildup continues to persist?
So a lot of the news that is in this recent cycle is kind of dated because it was during that high tension period. Notwithstanding that, we are not taking any threat by Venezuela. We're taking seriously every threat by Venezuela. We're not taking any of this threat for granted. We're not taking the behavior of Venezuela for granted. Our primary concern is the safety and security of our citizens, our investment, and everything that is within our territorial space our sovereign space, and our exclusive economic zone. And that is why we believe that we are pursuing a path of diplomacy, pursuing a path in which we have asked Venezuela to be a partner, an upholder of international law, and to respect the ICJ and the outcome of the ICJ. At the same time, we are not naive. At the same time, we have launched an aggressive program of strengthening our partnership with allies of the modernization of our defense system, the investment in technology, investment in the training of our human resources, the building of capacity, and the integration of what we are doing with our allies. And this is not only about Guyana, this is about the safety, security, and stability of the entire region. So we have been working with the UK, the US, France, all of these countries. CARICOM, we have worked with French Guyana to ensure that we build a robust mechanism of cooperation and integrate formally our joint approach, our joint intention, our joint commitment in ensuring a peaceful region, a stable region, and a region in which international law and the rule of law would be the guiding light and guiding principles for all of us.
And tell me, how do you see Brazil figuring into that equation?
Of course, Brazil is an important partner in this also. I omitted to mention Brazil, but Brazil is an important partner. Brazil is part of the group that is exercising that leadership in ensuring that the zone remains stable. And Brazil plays a key role in ensuring the stability. Brazil plays a key role in ensuring Venezuela, upkeep their commitment in the Argyle Agreement. We are fully committed, and I think the leadership that Brazil offers also gives an opportunity to all of us to ensure the tensions and the aggressive behavior, aggressive speeches are curtailed. I think Brazil plays a very key role in it.
Can we expect some sort of a joint announcement to that effect when President Lula visits you at the end of this month?
Well, President Lula has already made it very clear that he is part of this process to ensure stability remains in the region. He wants both parties, he wants all actors to act in a responsible way. He has made it very clear their position on the matter, and Brazil has always supported us, and Brazil has always exercised good regional leadership.